All right, y'all, welcome back. Excuse the mess. I've got a lot going on. I've got Christmas lights to put up, all the stuff I've been working with right now, more Christmas lights, got just a mess everywhere. But this is all happening in the middle of my last video. So by now, hopefully I've put the video up. You guys have seen the car on the new wheels. I don't know if I'm gonna do it like that yet. Maybe I might just show the whole car at once. I don't know, but either way, we got a set of carbon fiber fenders from Fly1Motorsports, and I've been working on installation on the driver's side alone for probably the past like 2 hours. This thing has been a pain to install. As you guys could probably guess by now, like most of these VQs are not like, they're probably not straight anymore. Most of them have been in some sort of accident, have had panels changed, have had bumpers changed, have had headlights changed, like nothing lines up perfectly. So I've been fighting with this side to kind of get things going. The other part that's making it a little bit difficult is the fact that I went with such a chunky tire on the front wheel. My gut told me to go with a 245/35, but I did want something a little beefier, and previous specs for other people, this worked out. So I have a 255 here, and what's happening is just a little too tall and it's fighting on the side of the fender. So I ended up having to shave the entire inner tabs of it, and that, you know, added to it alongside drilling all the holes and getting everything. So now that I've got this side on and things are looking pretty good, you know, I don't have much of a gap going on here around the lights. There is some of a gap in the hood, but I already kind of had a little bit of a gap. It wasn't crazy, but actually it's about the same. So I already had a gap going on there, so I'm not too you know, emotional about that. That'll be fine. But the gap around the lights, the gap here at the bumper are pretty good. Up here at the pillar, things are good. The gap in the door jamb is pretty chunky, but there's no fighting that, because as you guys can see, this is like perfectly aligned here. The headlight is aligned good, but I just couldn't fight that. And looking at other people's pictures, I see that they have just a similar gap too, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. I did also have to take time to paint inside, paint the chassis of the, well, yeah, the chassis, I guess, of the car, because through the vents here, you could see the lime green the car was before, the original paint. Well, not original, but the painted color of the car, you could make that out. So I did take a can of gloss black and I sprayed behind the all of that section there that you would see behind the vents. So this is where we are now. So at this point, I'm gonna move on to the passenger side. The passenger side shouldn't be as hard because for some reason, the camber, I guess, on this side is just slightly more negative than the other side. I mean, just ever so slightly, but also it could just be that this fender saw some action before and maybe it's a little bit pulled or something. But this side actually tucks better than that side did. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this one off, get everything prepped. I've got a spray behind this fender again, and then we'll go ahead and we'll just step by step do all the holes and kind of line things up. I'm not gonna go too in depth because your mileage is gonna vary based on how straight your car is, how aligned things are on your car, and how clean you want your install to be. I'm gonna be straight up. I probably use 2 zip ties on that side for certain sections because I didn't want to drill a bunch of holes trying to get things perfect. So I drilled a single hole, lined it up, zip tied the heck out of it, and it's holding strong. And chances are I might have to do the same thing here. If you don't want to do that, you can check out someone else's video, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep it moving here. All right, so super quick, if you've never taken your fenders off, it's just a couple bolts. So you can see you've got 2 up here, and you've got a 3rd one up here. You've got one here, here, here. Then if you open up your door, well, I can't show you from this angle because the fender's already loose, but you've got one right in here behind the door. So let me take the fender off and I'll show you guys. So right here you've got one more, and then you've got two down here at the bottom behind the side skirt that catch right there. Then in the front, again, this is going to depend on how complete your car is. You'll have one on the side here that will go into your headlights, and then you'll have the ones that actually connect to your bumper in here. As you can see, these are all like self-taps or bolts and stuff that I drove through there to hold the bumper up securely, but just a visual of what this is going to look like. Alright, so this is just a quick dry test. I haven't drilled any holes, I haven't done anything. I'm just kind of positioning it to kind of see where it lays, and like I said, this side already sits better. I think there's just a slightest bit more camber on this side than on the other side, but if I try to line it up a little more straight, it does start shifting because it is still hitting the tire right here. So I'm gonna go back, grab my oscillating tool, and I'm gonna shave the inner tabs inside and see if I can't get just a little bit more wiggle room to move the fender into a better position. But you can see it's kind of in place there. Excuse me. Once I drill the tab on the bottom, this will hold in place, and then we can go ahead and mount the bumper up to that and get all the other tabs, you know, everything else where it needs to be. There is a little bit more resistance down here, but again, I think that is because it is on the tire. So let's go grab the oscillating tool, like I said, and we'll go ahead and shave off the tabs on the inside. All right, y'all know I have a fear of carbon particles and fiberglass particles and all that stuff, so right now I am fully kitted up, and we're gonna go ahead and basically trim off as much of this layer here as we can without coming out to any of the parts that are exposed and without cracking anything. And for that, I'm gonna use my oscillating tool because I can basically just cut and dig. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and I'll show you guys the finished product in a second. Alright, y'all, so I was able to get that off. It's not super smooth, but whatever. It's not sharp enough to do any damage to the car, or the tires, so we'll leave it as it is. But I'm gonna go ahead, take this, reline it up, and at this point I'll probably start marking holes and trying to get an idea as to where things are gonna come together. So let's get this back on the car, map it up, line it up, make sure everything's nice and straight, and then we'll start working on mounting it. We got it back on. I thought the tire was still fighting it a lot, but what's going on is the fender liner is actually pushing it out some, so it's actually in a good place right now. So what I'm going to do next is take this back off, because if you guys take a peek in here, this side isn't as well lit, but you can see the lime green from the paint of the car. So I'm going to take some black gloss spray paint and spray that down, and while that's happening, I'm actually going to air the car up to give me some space to get the fender liner off, because I'm not going to run them anymore. They're kind of in the way, and there's also nothing to secure them with because I just shaved off the inner liner of the fender. So I'm going to go ahead and get those off, spray paint this side, air the car up, all that stuff, and we'll come back when it's time to actually start mounting the fenders back on. Alright, so got the fender liner off. There's only one section because I lost the front piece while I was driving one day. So we got the fender liner off, and I went ahead and I sprayed this section of the body with just some regular gloss black spray paint. Again, it's literally just so you don't see the lime green through the vents, just for a little bit of a cleaner look. So we're gonna go ahead, grab the fender from over there, bring it back, line it back up how it was as nice as we can, and start working on getting holes in. I like to try to get either this one or one of these in first, just to kind of hold it in place. And while that's there, I'll jump from up there and start working on the bottom ones of the fender. just because those seem to be the hardest or main points of contact or like securing. So we'll get those on, and then I think the last section that I'll work on is getting the piece that mounts to the headlight and then getting the actual bumper on attached to the fender. Because I don't have like the proper kit, like I don't have a plate or anything, what I did on the other side was I drilled a nice size hole, and then I used washers and bolts to kind of clamp them together. That did provide a little bit more of a secure connection versus like maybe throwing a bunch of self-tappers in there. And then it'll also make it easier when I need to actually take the bumper or the fenders off for any reason. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing everything I just said. All right, so I'm low-key annoyed at how easily this side lined up after I shaved that and picked the car up. Because the other side I really had to fight with, and here you can see it lines up with the headlight almost perfectly. I haven't bolted anything down, I should say that, but it's just so perfectly in place already. Like the bottom of the fender is already pressed against the wall, and then look at this gap. It's almost non-existent. It's almost stuck. So what that tells me is that one of these days when I've got free time on my hands, I need to come back over here and figure out why the heck this side fought me so hard. I might never figure it out, but this gap here is wild compared to what I got on the other side. It is what it is. And it doesn't make sense either because, again, this side is completely lined up with the headlight. The only way to make the gap disappear would have been for the bottom part to come back some, but then it wouldn't have lined up with the A-pillar cover, so it is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead, start drilling some holes. Gotta get holes here, here. Gotta get one in here, and then I'm gonna get down there at the bottom. I'm not too worried about this one behind the door because everything else will kind of hold that securely. But once those are on, then I'll come over here and get the front end of the fender secured to the headlight, and then we'll get the bumper up there. And we'll be pretty much done. The only thing I'll have to do after that is actually air the car out nice and slowly and watch it to see how it moves. What I also did on the other side that I didn't mention was I left the two bottom bolts just a little bit loose, and I did that just so that it would have not that much flex, but like just enough of a wiggle room in case it needed to, you know, get the tire in there a little tighter. But let me move on. All right, y'all, so that's it. Got this one on. I just realized I did forget to get that one screw that's right here at the top that connects to the, you know what I'm talking about, that's right there. So there's a little shift here, so I gotta get that in, but otherwise everything else is tightened up, buttoned up. This side came out so much freaking better than the driver's side, like it's ridiculous. The side skirt matched up almost perfectly. Where's my light? The side skirt lined up almost perfectly, and I was able to just put a self-tapper right there to hold that in. But the gap is pretty even, the door gap is pretty even, the hood gap is just about the same as it was with the previous fender. It's a little wide, it's a little wider towards the back, but that could be the hood, who knows. And then I did end up with, I don't know how this happened, but it seems like the fender has a little bit of a extra point to it, which someday I guess I'll have to try to shave down. But for that reason, it doesn't allow the bumper to kind of sit flush. So it kind of protrudes a little bit there. So when I try to address the other fender and trying to line that up again, I'll probably take a Dremel tool or something and just shave that down a bit, just so it'll tuck into the bumper better. But here's a close-up so you can see it has like a little added ridge there. So yeah, other than that, we're all done. All right, guys, finished up on the fenders, and I just wanted to give you guys a last fitment look. So I did come back around on them and do a little bit more work. I took a sandpaper on my oscillating tool, and I don't know if you guys can kind of see that white edge that's right there. So I did kind of round that out and shave it. It was coming to a bit of a point, and it was battling with the bumper. So they were kind of either overlapping or one pushing the other, but now I've kind of got it in a much better place. So everything's nice and lined up. On this side, I did have to fight the bumper a little bit more. You can see there's still a little bit of a gap because I need the bumper to kind of go in just a bit more. But I ended up trimming some of the top of the bumper on the inside here where it mounts, just to be able to let it go back a little bit more. But again, I think we're in a pretty decent place compared to where it was. As a whole, like I said, I'd rate the overall installation maybe like a 6 to 7 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. It wasn't that bad. It's just, like I said, this driver's side was a bit of a pain, and this finger gap here is pretty big. But I didn't get that on the opposite end. The passenger side fit almost perfectly. I didn't have any issues over here at all. So again, the only debate that I'm still having right now is kind of whether or not I want to wrap this upper portion of the fenders, or if we're going to keep it exposed carbon. I think for the time being, obviously, because it's already like this, we might let it run for a while like this and kind of see how I feel. But I have a feeling that long term I'm going to want to wrap it. Main reason being that from a distance, it kind of looks just like mismatched panels. Like, it just looks like I have black panels on the car. But we'll see about that. If you guys have any questions about the install, or any questions about the timing for getting these fenders, because it did take me a minute to actually get them out. I ordered these mid-year. We're in December, and I just got them like a week ago. But if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments, and I will be back to answer them at some point. But till next time, peace out, and God bless, guys.